Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warships Blitz video. Today's video is the Tier 8 Russian battleship, the Vladivostok. So this is a quick stats review, that's all I have time for. I have the other Tier 8 battleships loaded up here, but I'm just going to only have time for a quick run through. So looking at the hit points, 47,200, which is pretty good. That's equal to the Amagi, which stock is the other ship with the highest number of hit points. I can't compare it with the Bismarck and the Monarch because they've both been fully upgraded, but still top of range. Citadel protection, 12.5%, which is the same as the Amagi, same as the North Carolina, and I think even same as the Gascon. So average citadel protection, flooding and fire resistance 20%, which is pretty good. Obviously North Carolina comes in ahead at 22.5, I think. Other ships coming in a bit behind. Damage reduction 15%, which is as good as any other battleship out there. I think even the Bismarck has 15% battle damage reduction. The torpedo damage reduction at 15%. Actually the reason that the hit points are so high is I have historical camo loaded. So the hit points is 45,400, so about a couple of thousand less than the Amagi stock, but still pretty much up there. That's the only ship stock that beats it. Torpedo damage reduction at 15% is on the low side, so you get 18% out there for the likes of 19.5% for the Gascon. Obviously, the North Carolina is pretty significant on the. Oh no, it's 15%, same as North Carolina. The Amagi, obviously 18%. Sorry, that's the one that had 18%. Speed. Okay, so let's go for speed. 28 knots, which is pretty quick. So you get, sort of 30 at the top end of the Gascon, 26, 27-ish with the North Carolina. So time to full speed about 30 seconds, so it's about as slow off the pace as Bismarck. Now this max traverse speed, this is the slowest ship, so the next slowest is the Amagi at 4.8. And then the rest of the battleships have a traverse speed of 5.1, 5.2, 5.4 degrees per second. So this is the least agile of all the battleships, and that turn time of 15 seconds is as slow as anything you could get. So that looks like Tier 9 turning performance, to be fair. Right, guns. So because I've only got a quick time, I'll compare. The best way of describing these guns is that they are the same as the North Carolinas, but slower firing. So 23.5 second. The North Carolina does 22, so it's a second and a half faster. The North Carolina fires for an extra 240 meters. The North Carolina does, I think, so like 10 points less HE damage, 1% less fire chance, and something like 20 points less AP damage. So almost the same, but I'm going from memory here. It's 20 points less on the HE, 10 points less on the AP. So essentially it fires a second and a half faster every 22 seconds versus 23 seconds. So the North Carolina these guns are the same as the North Carolina, slower firing, less range. The dispersion on the Piedavallaki wasn't great, so something to watch out for. On secondaries, it has 12 secondaries, 7 seconds, which is good because the multiple of 7 is obviously 21 or 28, which means that your secondaries, you get 3 clear shots out, and then time to switch back to the mains, get them off, and then you're back on the secondaries. So some secondaries seem to have a multiple that coincides with the main guns. That's a bit of a problem. Range, so they're reasonably quick firing, not as fast firing as I think the North Carolina, but then again the North Carolina has much shorter range. So secondaries are a flavour, so some secondaries are longer range, slower firing, such as the Gascon. These seem to be fairly much in the middle. I do like the multiples though. It has auto secondaries. They are proximity detectors as far as I'm concerned. They do damage and they're nice to have, but the main thing they tell you is that something's going on that you need to pay attention to. Um, 3.3 kilometre range, which is pretty close proximity detection, to be honest. Anti-aircraft armament is pretty average. So if we go and look at another average anti-aircraft ship, the Amagi beats it on all fronts. Surface detection is quite high at 11.5 kilometres, but obviously, as you can see on the Amagi on the screen there, that's nowhere near the 12.5 kilometres near as for the Amagi. So really for the ship, what's my perspective on it? Well, the Peter Valicky had some dispersion issues at extreme range. These have got slow firing guns with the same sort of damage as the North Carolina. If it has the same dispersion as a Peter Valicky, it could make it a little bit interesting. Its low citadel protection means that I'm not sure that it's going to be a brawler. And the Peter Valicky seemed to have a high citadel, so as though it had good armour values, it seemed to take a lot of shots into the citadel. So really at the moment, the jury's out. Now, what that means is that the ship, it has some strengths, it has some weaknesses, and that's what I like to see in a new ship. So it's not going to clear the decks of all the previous ships. I don't think it's going to power creep anything, and that's a fantastic addition to the game. So if you like playing battleships and you have the other lines ground, I think it's worth going for. Obviously, with those guns, the layout of the guns, it'd be like the Monarch or North Carolina. It'll be a reasonable battle tanker because you won't lose so much of your firepower. And I think with the Peter Valicky, when it's end on, you get a lot less citadel. So at that point, that high damage reduction the ship has and that high hit point pool will probably make it a reasonably good battle tanker, although not anywhere near as good as the Richelieu. But then again, this is a tech tree ship. So there's my conclusions, which is inconclusive, but looks interesting. I hope you find that interesting. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.